Today, I'm going to be building a massive Formula 1 racetrack in Minecraft. I was inspired to build this Formula 1 racetrack after watching the movie Gran Turismo on Netflix. It's a very good movie. I highly recommend you check it out. But before I began building, though, I was actually looked online and was inspired by some real-life Formula 1 racetracks, including the Circuit de Monaco, Silverstone, and the Indy 500. Now, just before we begin building, you can download this build on my Patreon if you want. It's only $5 a month. You get access to over 30 different Minecraft cities, all included in that, and you can cancel anytime. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin building this racetrack in Minecraft. Alright everyone, so the first thing we're going to do is actually build the track itself. Now, I already laid out the entire track, and that took me about 2 hours. But now what I'm doing is filling in the whole thing with stone in order to actually, pave the track. Now that the outline is complete. So I'm just going to go around the whole thing and just replace all of the grass and dirt with stone, and also remove any extra trees that might be in the way. This does take me kind of a long time to do because the track isn't all straight. I do incorporate diagonals and curves into it to make it more realistic. Now that the track is complete, it's time to go ahead and begin building the grandstands. So this is a very interesting part. I spent a long time building the stands because they are very important, and what I ultimately am going to end up doing is making the grandstands wrap around the entire track. So as you can see, I'm now going to build some stands that kind of go diagonal, but I do have a lot of trees to remove whenever I am building this, and that does, add a lot of time to the build when I have to remove all the trees. Next, what I'm going to do is build a road that kind of goes over the track to kind of get you inside the pit crew area, and then I'm going to continue building the stands to basically go all the way around the main part of the track right here. There are a lot of stands, but that's because this is a very popular racing event. Next thing I'm going to do is just fill in that area with stone bricks, and now it's time to build the pit crew area. So I am going to build the first actual race car and then the pits. I'm not sure how accurate the pit crew area actually is, but I tried to, make it somewhat realistic, and then also include the ramps to get on and off the pit crew from the regular track. Now I'm going to change all that red concrete surrounding the track to orange concrete, and that's just going to give it some more aesthetics. The Clarence Raceway is going to be orange and white, and I decided to name this racetrack the Clarence Grand Prix, and also build the town of Clarence surrounding the racetrack, which you'll see later in the time-lapse. But what I am going to do now is just continue modifying the grandstands and make them as good as they possibly can be. And I'm going to also change the seating to be orange and white. So it's going to be orange concrete and polished diorite. It's going to be the materials that are used to build the actual grandstands themselves. And now what I'm going to do is continue building the area inside the pit crew. So I'm going to make a little storage area where the cars will be parked. And now I'm going to build the commentator's tower. I will end up removing this later because I don't like the look of it, but for right now it's right there. And now I'm going to continue building more parking lots where the trucks that haul the cars are located. Next, I'm going to build a big parking garage, which I actually took from another one of my builds and just pasted it in here. And that's going to be where all the actual fans are going to park. And I am going to add more parking lots as well because I don't think the parking garage would be enough room. I'm not even sure if this amount of parking is enough. But anyways, the next thing we're going to do is begin building the outline for the town of Clarence. So this isn't just a Formula 1 racetrack, it's also an entire town surrounding the racetrack. I really think that that gives it more identity and makes it like the Circuit de Monaco, where you have the marina and the town surrounding it. I really like that, and I wanted to incorporate it in my Formula 1 track as well. So I am going to go ahead and replace that commentator's tower with that other building, and then go ahead and finish off the grandstands just by filling that in. Next, I'm going to make the entrance look really cool, the Clarence Grand Prix right there. And I'm going to go ahead and take that orange concrete to make the entranceway and fill that in with grass. And now I'm going to go ahead and make the new commentator's booth, which is actually going to be inside the grandstands, and also an area where people can sit and eat. I do have to fill in some red lights really quickly, and then what I'm going to go ahead and do is add some trees inside the pit area. Just since I did remove so many trees, I'm going to add some more back in later. But next, I'm going to build a shell for the buildings. This is kind of the first time I've tried this technique of building, but I think that it turned out really well because what it does is it allows me to see how tall each building is. Now I'm gonna build a hotel where all the racers and their pit crews will stay while they're at the track. So this hotel was really fun to make. I was going to use an existing hotel I had, but I just figured to put a new one instead because it fit with the landscape better. And I am going to add some trees around that as well. And next I'm going to build a unique entrance and kind of just finish that off right there. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and begin building the town buildings themselves. So I'm going to replace the shells with actual buildings. And I really like using the shells. I think this is a very cool technique for me to use this time around because for one, the buildings are diagonal, which makes it a lot harder to build, and then for two, I can see exactly how tall each building is going to be and kind of plan what I want each building to look like. So there are some taller buildings over here on this side of the track. I wanted it to kind of be like a mixture of urban and, you know, historical buildings in this town right here. And I really enjoy building these buildings. It took me probably almost as long to build the buildings as it did to build the track, but I definitely think that it was worth it because now it's not just a track, it's an actual entire city in Minecraft that, you know, you can go in and explore. So like I said, there are several buildings, you know, that I need to incorporate into the town, but just kind of making each building different and unique in order to give it, you know, a more unique vibe. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish building the buildings on this side over here. They are a little bit smaller, but they're going to be right next to the river, which is very nice. So there we go. Now the buildings are done, so I'm going to build the marina, very similar to the Circuit de Monaco. You have the marina right next to the track with the town buildings. I really took a lot of inspiration from that track. Also the Silverstone one, just because it's kind of nestled in the trees. I'm going to add a few more decorations to the build, just to kind of polish everything off and make it all feel complete. And now I'm going to go ahead and add all the cars in the parking lot and along the road. I am going to build the area where the person stands with the flag, add in some more cars right here. And now it's time for me to actually begin building the Formula 1 race cars. This was an exciting thing for me to do, and if you download this map and see, each car is different, so no two cars are the same on the racetrack. I don't know how many cars there are. I believe a regular Formula 1 track has like 20 cars. I looked it up, but my track is a lot more than that. Because it is so big. But next, I'm going to add in all the people in the stands. So I don't do this in every stadium that I build, but for this one, I did add in people in the stands. And I just used walls with player heads on top, because if I would have done armor stands, that would have taken like a gazillion years. So I am just going to go ahead and make it so it's like realistic looking people, but not as realistic as an armor stand would be. So now the time lapse is complete. So this is the bridge to the city of Clarence right here. So that takes you from Dock City over to Clarence. So as you can see, we are going over this bridge right here. And then when you get down from the bridge, you're going to go around this bend. And you'll get to this stoplight here where you can turn right or left to get onto the track or park. And this is just the front entrance right here. This is the Clarence Grand Prix, of course. Now we are going to go ahead and take a look at the aerial view. So I almost run into that building, but I avoid it at the last second. But this is hopefully kind of giving you guys an idea of how big this racetrack is and how big this town is. This took me like 3 weeks to build, and like I spent hours and hours and hours some days building it. Now this is the entrance here, so we have some important figures here. This is Clarence. He is the owner of the track. Up next we have Al Langer. He was another helper of the track. And now we have Uncle Joe and Uncle George. These four men were the founders of the Clarence Grand Prix that was established in 1919. And now we have the grandstands themselves right here, where you can see all the people. And I did include an American flag to really give it that identity for the track. I think that was really cool to add that flag in there. And now we're going to see the racetrack itself. So I'm actually going to take you kind of doing a full lap around the entire track, so you can see all the different race cars and everything. So we are going to go down. That was the straightaway here. Now we're going to turn here. That guy with the green concrete over his head, he is the leader of the race. So he is winning the race, by the way. And it says that he's the leader whenever you download the map. Anyways, we're going to go around this bend right here. We have some more cars that are almost about to get lapped, it looks like, by the leaders. But everyone is doing a terrific job in this race. This is a very difficult racetrack. As you can see here, there's a lot of turns and bends, and there's also a lot of elevation changes, which makes it really unique and realistic. But we are going to continue going around this bend right here. I pretty much put cars in every straightaway. I really couldn't do them on the diagonals, or else it would look like they're spinning out. If you guys really want to, I can add some more cars that are looking like they're crashed. Things like that. But currently, there's no one crashing the racetrack. Everyone is safe. We are going to continue going around here, this bend. And now we're getting close to, you know, the Fullerton area. So Fullerton is right to the right of this racetrack. We're gonna go up over this kind of mound here. You're kind of starting to get into the mountains in this part. So it's really taking you from the shores of the river all the way to the mountains, which is really impressive to see how big the racetrack is. Now I'm going to show you the main straightaway right here. We're going to be going the opposite direction of the cars. But as you can see, all the detail I put into each car. Like, this build seriously took me a long time. If you're still watching the video at this point, please download the map. It's well worth it. You will not regret it. And finally, we are going to take a look at the town of Clarence. So the town, the marina, everything to make the track feel complete.